Okay, I would focus in on the question. The question is, what's the dimension of the field? So, I'm going to say x is the width, and the length of it is y. And this is in feet, all right? So, what I'm going to talk about is this: a rectangular field is surrounded by a fence, and the fence is 160 feet long. So, I hope you realize if that's the case, that, let me just outline this for you. The fence goes around the entire thing, and there's 160 feet of it, which means it's coming from 2x plus 2y. So that's pretty easy to understand. Let me get my eraser out though and erase this over here. And let me talk about what they did next was this. They solved for the y. Before you do that though, if I write down 2x plus 2y is equal to 160, I would divide by 2 and you get x plus y is equal to 80. Or you could say y is equal to 80 minus x. And that's where this is coming from over here, right? I'm going to erase this over here. Again, I'll leave the picture up as long as I need it, but I will erase it at some time too. They say the cost of the fence, right? The cost of the fence at 96 cents a foot. Well, how much fence did I buy? 160 feet, right? So 160. And it was 96 cents every foot, right? All right, let me read that. Was 1/10 as many dollars as there are square feet. Let's write down 1/10 times the square footage, which is x times y. All right? Well, what I'm going to do there, I'm going to do something with the numbers because it really kind of disturbs me. I can multiply both sides by 10. You would get 160 times 9.6. I'm associating the 10 with the decimal number, and that would be xy. And then I notice I don't like that decimal, so I'm going to say 16, I'm borrowing a 10, times 96 equals x times y. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. Get my eraser out. And I'm going to say I got two pretty important equations at this point. I'm going to outline them for you. And it's this one here and this one over here. And yeah, I'll do the multiplication if necessary. But right now, I just want to write down what the work is. All right? So I got to eliminate something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this a little bit differently. I'm going to write 16 times 96 equals x times y. Well, y is 80 minus x, right? Let me get my eraser out. I'll erase this business now. I don't need it anymore. I got to get busy with working now. And I got to do some multiplications. All right, I'll write that down for you. I got to do 16 times 96. Well, it's certainly going to be 960 because 10 times 96 is 960. 6 times 90 is 540. And 6 times 6 is 36. I don't know why I put a line there. Let me get rid of that line. Let's see, 9's 1536. I'll write that down. Equals 80x minus x squared. Well, I think you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff now. I'm moving forward, and I'm ready to move forward. I'm going to erase this too. I don't need this anymore either. One step at a time, moving forward. By the way, I think it's a good strategy in general to move forward until you get stuck and then go backwards. But this is x squared minus 80x. Let's see, plus 1,536 equals 0. And by the way, I realize this is brutal for a lot of students. You're going to have to play with the numbers or go to the quadratic formula. But I'll be honest with you, it's not like I get these things immediately. It takes me time. And I'll tell you what I do, how I do it. I look at 1536 and I start to break it up. And I break it up in the simplest things possible. So like over there, like 750 and then 18, you get the idea. And then I got to break it up again until I see something. And eventually I got to 32 and 48. It took time though. I kept doing twos. I got it. I did. It took time. Minus minus. So x is 32. Or the x is 48. Both good numbers, by the way. All right, let me get my eraser out now. Erase this over here. And what's the question? Right? It says a rectangular field surrounded by a fence 60 feet long. The cost of the fence. Oh, if you know x, you know y now. And that's from over here. Well, 80 minus 32 is 48. And if you know x is 48, what would y be? 32. So what do you get? It's 48 by 32. Right there. Not a bad problem, by the way. What's the worst thing about this problem? This number. Probably the worst thing in the problem. Thank you.